This is going to be called an everybody's read. Everybody is included in this read. So we usually say general collective. I don't think I'm going to use that term anymore after this year. If I can remember to kind of cycle it out of my vocabulary. Yeah. So I was just holding the deck here, and rest is coming out with survival. Okay. The other thing that I think is probably going to happen pretty quickly in the next couple of days is that I will choose to use tarot for tarot. And then I'm also going to try to integrate at least once a month free read, free flow of thoughts. And the reason I'm going to do that is because I don't think people are understanding the literal magnitude of the ability that's available at your fingertips, quite literally. Look, there's Grace. I just cut the deck again. And there's survival. So it's like, I feel like there's what I'm being directed to do at this time is ramp it up a notch. And I'm not necessarily, like you probably can tell, I'm not necessarily super excited about that because I feel like, I don't know, I don't feel dependent on the cards, but I feel like they make it really much easier in translation of energy. Energy is not something tangible that I can pick up and show you. Okay, I can't do that necessarily. I can show you or demonstrate with the cards, but the larger scale implications of real life feedback, like real time feedback of your psyche and your intuition, your consciousness. Here comes Grace again, and there's the community. This is number 39, and this is number 3. There's something that is here for us to learn about that. So this actually came out in the reverse, which is just fine. It doesn't really mean anything except that I'm talking about future energy. This reading is an everybody's reading. I'm going to use the mood deck to set the mood and see what we need to focus on for 2026. We meaning the everybody's psyche. Turn back time wanted to flip out. This is way too big a chunk of cards for me to read all of them, but I'll take this one. Let me give this a couple more shuffles. My voice just started going hoarse. I'm also getting told to tell you that the animal kingdom will have a large voice in this as well. Oh, she just hit me in the head with her tail. Like, I don't know if you've... I don't know what's wrong with my spirit guides. Are off the train sometimes. But let's listen. So I got right when she jumped, I got this flash of information from her. And I'm going to just make myself sound crazy. People are going to be like, you think you talk to your cat? Yeah, I'm a cat lady. I am a cat lady. That I am. What I got from her was an image from CSI. I don't know if you've seen CSI, but there's Ziva and Tony are two of the characters in there. And Ziva is forever like popping Tony upside the head, like upside the back of his head, like wake up. You know, that's what she just did for me when I was trying to explain the energy of the the animal kingdom will be talking amongst each other. Like there will be a buzz. Um, some people may not. I don't care if you believe that or not. Um, it's really important that the people who do have the capacity to understand mental awareness of your surroundings, consciousness, agility of mentality, intelligence, a higher power. I don't care which God you're talking about. It could be an animal spirit. That's okay. It's been time, and I've been apprehensive to really kind of like, you know, spearhead it. Just spearhead it because it's a difficult conversation to have. We're watermelon, okay? That's who we are, right? We've got a whole bunch of seeds and we're kind of really full of water. Like, think most of watermelon is water. Same thing with human bodies. I'm saying the avocado is like the animal kingdom or the plant life. Avocados are fruit technically, but most people don't even know that. So that's what this is. It's finding out that feeling that you get, like your dog is looking at you like, are you crazy? Yeah. Yep. That's what the dog is thinking. They're like, Malcolm Gladwell, what the dog saw is coming to mind. This has a lot to do with integration of all living things. And hopefully I'll get down to an atomic molecular level of kind of helping demystify that a little bit. Not because it's not fun to have mystical things, but just because I think we owe it to ourselves and the planet at this point. Uh, yeah, it's just, it's time for that. Okay, it's just time for that. Let me get two more, please. Let me get two more. Yep, treat yourself. It's time to treat yourself. That's what I mean is that when we're not able to effectively communicate with ourselves, inside of ourselves, it makes it really hard to communicate with each other, let alone the animal kingdom or the plant life. It's kind of like having a farm, but not knowing that your cow is going lame. You know, you're just like, oh, why is the cow limping like that? Must just be a G, right? No, the cow's in pain. It just needs change of shoes. Okay, so it's like the Eli of the book of Eli as it pertains to all living creatures on this planet. That's gonna be a treat. Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. Okay? Fruit and chocolate don't really go together. I mean, that's like chocolate covered strawberries or chocolate covered, dried fruits or something. But I'm just saying that these are compatible. Compatible in they're just compatible in specific ways. Yep, tea time. There's the plant life also speaking to me pretty directly. We now have literally, she was, oh, there it is. There it is on the bottom of the deck again. So literally this is the connection between humans, animals, plants, and the elemental resources that are available on this planet. I am also going to just preface this for myself really quickly. When you have mental prowess, is the way I'm being told to phrase it. I don't know why. Oh, because prowess is like a prowler. It's animal energy coming through. That when you have mental prowess, you're also able to find or locate Animals know where their food is. They know how to access their food no matter what the circumstance, no matter the weather, no matter the social climate within their herd, if they are part of a herd, or if they're a lone animal, then they know how to fend for themselves. So rather than other people having to take care of them, they've always fended from themselves from day one. This is going to be partially the ability to locate in time and space the place where a valuable item might be. Some people call it remote viewing, although I don't like the remote control, like Adam Sandler remote kind of click implication of that, but so mote it be. This is about remote viewing. It's about viewing things not from like a talk show host kind of view, but from an internal place of contentment, as well as appreciation. It's time for the animal kingdom to share with us their secrets. It's like the bee dance, when bees go out to search for honey, they do a little dance and then they come back home. And it's the way that they remember where they've been over a long course of time in the air, flying, navigating left, right, up, down, sideways, diagonal, blah, 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 blah. Right? They have to keep their eye on the field below them so they can see when they've stumbled across a grassy knoll or a meadow of some type that has exactly the kind of nectar that they need as a basic supplement in their life, a nutrient. So if we were talking about trees, the nutrients on a tree that is apples, oranges. Orange, glad I didn't say banana. Okay, anyway, you get my point. That's also what this next year will be about. This obviously wants to be the bottom of the read. So we've got turn back time, treat yourself, and talk about it. Let's talk about it. I'm hearing that song. Let's give them something to talk about. I don't know why this just came out. I don't know. Okay. All right. So that's enough of that. Yeah, I think that's probably why. Let's give them something to talk about. Yeah. Oh, she's reminding me that vibrational frequency of your mental faculties is really important in being able to understand how this is even possible. That I did do more than a couple readings this year in a book by Zoe Schlager called The Light Eaters. In a large way, in a big way actually, that is exactly what this is. It's understanding the communication styles that are non-tangible, non-auditory, non-verbal, non-visual, non-tactile necessarily, and that, yes, you'll find out if you listen to the Zoe Schlager that the root system does connect basically everything underneath the soil, but the ability of our society to fashion itself around a specific supply and demand is exactly the way that the animal kingdom as well as the plant life operates. So if we don't want to be operated upon as much, or we don't have to want to cut ourselves open and perish unknown, then this is something that we should probably get down packed before we move further than 2026. All of us have, I think, been attempting to do the best that we can. I think we could do better, myself included. I'm going to use the Map Shifters deck because that's what we're doing. We're shifting it isn't about shifting timelines. And I think people are not understanding that time is not a line. I hate to break it to some of y'all, but you can order things chronologically, but that is not necessarily a timeline that was consistent. That's the way we perceive it. But part of being able to associate with these types of energies and communications is realizing that um, your frequency or your biometric imprint upon the world around you is something that is just as significant as your carbon footprint once you've passed. So it doesn't have to do with a timeline. It has to do with understanding a frequency. What is this I'm feeling in my stomach? Is it fear? Is it joy? Is it um, exhaustion? Is it exuberance? Is it bliss? Is it euphoria? What, being able to identify for yourself, as well as, I want to say, rearrange the energies so that you can discern between the ones that are your own versus the ones that you are receiving. So what you're putting out versus what you're getting back. That's what makes us more of a etheric transmitter, if you will. So sometimes when I say things, I'll say it and then the cards show it, which is what I was trying to tell you about why the cards are so wonderful. The transition will be, I'm sure it's not going to be the easiest for everybody. Yeah. But even though it's not going to be the easiest for everybody, that doesn't mean that we're not going to put our best foot forward, right? Put our best foot forward in whatever it is that we do. So let me shuffle this and then I'll get clarification. I'm trying to also just channel right now as well as draw the cards, which is what I always do, but I'm trying to figure out how to interface between these 2 points in real time, which I'm doing, but I'm also like, if I seem hesitant, it's because I'm masticating about several different things mentally. Okay, we've got Peaks of Joy in the reverse. Don't worry about the fact that it's in the reverse. Understand that the Peak of Joy is also taking a leap of faith. This would be the Fool card in the traditional tarot, is the way that I see it. This is not something that we found out yet. Most people have no clue or don't really care or just didn't even have they might have known, but they never had an outlet or an outpost is what I'm hearing. Yeah. Oh, okay. To like send and receive messages. So that's like a letter in the mail, right? If you thought about your brain being the mailbox, communication with other living creatures may be nonverbal. And if you're not open to receiving those, you'll just discard it as a thought, a random thought that you just randomly had that has no relevance whatsoever. Yeah, here's 44. Strength card in the upright, straight down the middle. Turn back time, treat yourself, and let's talk about it. So, we went from, so, hello, sweetness. Sorry, my throat randomly started getting really scratchy as soon as she came over here because she's trying to speak. So I'm not going to stop her, but I am going to have her draw a card so she can help us if she wants to. Ophelia, Ophelia, ma'am, do you want to draw a card? Ophelia, Ophelia, you want to do some work? Which one? Which one? Which one, big girl? She doesn't feel like it. Sometimes she's real in my face about it. Um, yeah, sometimes she's real just clear about which one she wants. Today it's not. There's an 11-point shift between those two cards. This is treating yourself, whereas we don't yet have the ability to enjoy some parts of the animal or plant world because we don't understand them. Pharmaceutical companies, unfortunately, may have some of the best information on plants and animals out there. They use them to make remedies or pharmaceutical pills and potions, right? That's where they are used. Yep, there's education that was supposed to come from that. So this right here, it's tea time on what we've already been taught, because in order to understand this, you're going to have to unlearn almost everything you've learned. It's no small feat. I'm not saying that this is all going to get done in 2026. I'm saying that there's going to be a different effort on my personal part. On my personal part, there will be a different effort. It just means ordering your thoughts in a different way, being able to retain the resonance of words where words do not apply. So if you thought about the Voynich code or the alphanumeric code, Morse code, math itself, music, all of those have a resonance that will become the most important part of what it is that is being created at this time. Yeah, it's adding water back into the watermelon, whereas you had an oasis before. Top of the reading, please. Oof. Yeah. I'm gonna have to get out of this energy kind of quick because my crown chakra is a little bit. It's. I don't know if people. Okay. Woo! All right. There's just a lot of energy coming through. So for people who are able to speak a second language besides English, or outside of their original language of choice, I don't know. The way that I'm stuttering right now is indicative of the fact that I'm trying to translate something that, like I said, is intangible. I couldn't type it out for you. I couldn't feel it for you. It's something that you have to become attuned to on your own. And I know that's really difficult to hear. It is going to be way easier if you don't resist that. Just know that it's going to be difficult. Know that it's going to be hard. Know that it's going to be all right. It's going to be okay. What's on the other side of this effort is astoundingly awe creating. A good place to start, if you don't have any clue what I'm talking about, is to look at the mathematical sequence of the Fibonacci sequence. It's the way that rabbits reproduce naturally. It's the way that cell structures, I mean, like, you just go look it up. But if we're going to talk about the biometric imprint that we leave on the planet before we, before we come here, we've got a biometric imprint as well. That's where it came from. It had a source and an origin, which most people attribute to their parents. Then you maintain that, yes, you change, you get older, you learn new things, you evolve as a human, good, bad, great and ugly, that's just the way life is. But then if you have the same biometric imprint when you leave as you did when you began, it is just a blink in your eye, really, to try to remember both ends of that. I know that sounds a little bit off kilter, but it isn't. Okay, so okay. Here's this for her. That's why she was doing that. She was chewing on the edge of my computer when I was asking if she wanted to pick a card. She's choosing this one. Do you see that? She's very clearly choosing it. So I told you sometimes she's all over me about it. This is the Dragon's Lair. So that will be the top of the reading. This is the last card of this reading. I think I was trying to say before how you can capture a resonance, a frequency. It's like taking a snapshot of it for your memory banks. Okay? And once you've taken the snapshot, you no longer need the photo. You don't need your eyes. You know, they say a picture is worth 1,000 words. That's exactly what I've just done here. That's number 22. So we now have 33, 44, and 22. Take a leap of faith strongly towards your intentions. That's what I'm doing now, is setting intentions for 2026. For 2026. These are increments of 11. This is why the cards are helpful in demonstrating what the reasons why having translational issues between etheric and worldly is sometimes difficult, especially to voice. Everybody owes everybody this. When they say tension in the room was so thick you could cut it with a knife, this is what they mean. Whether you mean to or not, you've got a frequency going through your brain at all times. It's a currency. And if you can control it, it will come out in very regimented increments. If you cannot control it, you might not even notice. It's kind of like being under anesthesia. I almost said Anastasia. I don't know why. Oh, she was homeless. She was a orphan. Oh, okay. It's like realizing that Bambi was an orphan and that Anastasia was an orphan, and so was little orphan Annie. Okay? Little orphan Annie got adopted. I don't know what happened with Anastasia. Haven't watched that movie in forever. All Dogs Go to Heaven also had an orphan. So orphans don't know where they came from. That's that peak of joy in the reverse, right? They don't have that origin source. The beginning never happened in their world. All they know is they came out of a watermelon looking stomach and now they're here. I said the birds and the bees. Yeah, I'm gonna need to get out of this energy sooner than later because it's I have not perfected this ability for myself quite yet. I'm almost there. Almost there. Almost. Bear with me, okay? Um If you don't know where you came from, it's a lot easier to be strong where you are. So if you don't know about your past, it's a lot easier to just accept your current situation. Live in the now. What people also underestimate, though, and look straight past, I'm not talking about literally with your eyes either. I'm talking about as a belief system and from the heart space, they don't see that they've educated themselves not to plant that olive branch. We don't know how to plant olives. We don't know how to grow olive trees. We're told you can't even grow an avocado tree, especially not in really cold, dry atmospheres or climates. That's not necessarily true. You don't know until you try. You don't know until you try. You can try to say that you can't look into the future, but for those of us, or for the people who have not been able to look into the past, it's an education that is kind of like walking into a lion's den or a dragon's lair. It has everything to do with facing your fear. There doesn't have to be any fear about it, one way or the other. But it's something that's what I said. You have to unlearn everything you've ever known. You can't take that with you if you're going to understand the before, the after, and the present. That's the dragon's lair. It's a mystical experience that you've never had before. So it's normal to be nervous. It's okay to be scared. It is not okay to let it prevent you from doing what it is that you'd like to do. On that note, I think I've exhausted the grace that I had for myself today, including probably y'all. So I'm gonna let this go right now. I will take please the Pegasus deck because we're talking about mystical, etherical doors opening and all this, for 2026, doors opening in the best of ways, by the way. I don't um yeah, I don't see much more that needs to be discussed right at this moment. Uh yeah, perspective. This is number 23. Yep, up in the clouds, everything is going fine. Down on earth, people are fighting. They don't have the same perspective, so they're going to argue about it. That's what I mean by this is the dragon's lair. Oof, where you're coming down from the top. It's a drop of information. It's a singing in the rain. This is singing in the rain. These gentlemen are sitting here arguing with each other because they don't understand that they have a Pegasus right there in the clouds that could just precipitate a tiny bit of knowledge, and all of a sudden, uh, here we are. I feel I could just like fall asleep on the table right now. That was a lot of I don't even know what to call it. I don't want to say exertion. I don't want to say exhaustion. So it was just something. It takes it takes kind of a lot of energy to try to reach with your brain or reach towards uh, the world that cannot be witnessed or observed, for that matter. I don't know why I'm still shuffling. I guess you need one more. There's freedom. At the bottom of the deck is the Pegasus. That's what I mean. We're using the Pegasus deck to free the mystical beings of their... Hint, hint, you are the mystical being trying to help you free your mind.